Hi guys, so E3 2018 is just about a month away, and I just wanted to come up here and talk about my sort of E3 wish list for 2018, top 10 things that I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing at E3. You never know, some pie in the sky wish things here, some things that I just hope have a really good presentation, that type of thing. I'm not going to talk about games that I hope to see as far as the health of the industry and what I kind of want for everyone, but just as an individual, what would I personally like to see? What would you really get me excited? Top 10 here, number 10 is actually a little bit more for a game that I would not play, but one I know my wife would play the heck out of, so I really want to see it because it was something that would make her happy. A new Animal Crossing for the Switch. That would be, like, I would not be able to touch my Switch for long periods of time because it would be in her hands, and yeah, I would love to see that, though. I love when she's happy and has a game that she wants to play, so I'd really like to see a new Animal Crossing. That would be one of the biggest things I'd want to see from Nintendo that's not something that's already been announced, something like Metroid Prime 4 or the new Smash Brothers. I want to see more of those at E3, but as far as something that hasn't been revealed in any way, I really am hoping for a new Animal Crossing. Number 9, I would really like to see, is this something non-specific? I would really like to see some sort of either real-time strategy game a la Warcraft, Starcraft type thing, or a turn-based strategy game, maybe something along the lines of Advance Wars, that type of thing, on the Switch. I'd like to see something like that. It's not the, I know the people are going to say that, hey, the Mario Rabbids crossover thing, but I want to see something a little more interesting and a little more gritty, a little more like Command and Conquer-esque, like whether it is a true RTS or more of a turn-based type thing. I think I'd really like something like that. So that would be kind of something that's a very just kind of a non-specific type of game I would really like to see, because I think I would enjoy it on that platform with the ability to go portable, handheld, or play it on TV. And I think just that diversity, I think I'd enjoy that genre in that form. Number 8 is one that Nintendo really screwed up on missing out on for the Wii U. Pokemon Snap 2. I know everyone's hoping for a new big Pokemon RPG on the Switch, and hopefully that comes out. I know a lot of people will be excited for that, but I just really want to see Pokemon Snap 2 more than an actual Pokemon game, which is ridiculous, but just because it's something that was so much fun on the N64. It's still something that my little brother and I occasionally will play when we get together. It's a very fond memory, and it's such an interesting game, and it was really a missed opportunity on the Wii U. I thought that was a given almost. So Pokemon Snap 2 is actually the number 8 of what I'm looking for in 2018 at E3. Number 7, I would really like to see the return of an old Sega franchise. I think this is something that's unlikely because we already know we have the return, obviously, of Shenmue, with Shenmue 1 and 2 HD, and then 3, and we know they're working behind the scenes, probably not very far along, on a new Sakura Tyson game, and I don't think there's going to be any other surprise from them as far as reviving an old franchise, but I would really, that would really make my E3, even if nothing else happened here, that would be exciting if it's something I'm interested in, maybe Skies of Arcadia, even if it's just an HD remaster, on the Switch would be great, something like that. I would just really like to see an old Sega franchise, Panzer Dragoon, something come out of the woodworks, even if it's just a collection of older games that aren't necessarily as available on quite as many consoles, mostly just sort of old Sega consoles, that type of thing. Number 6, related to that, I would really like to see sort of a Dreamcast collection on the Switch, even if it's just a handful of classic games. I would really love to see a Sonic Adventure paired with Space Channel 5, or maybe a Space Channel 5 1 and 2 collection there, or even just any kind of classic Dreamcast game, any one of those Orange Label, Sega All-Stars, bestseller games, anything like that, just getting a cool little collection of Dreamcast games on the Switch, and maybe include a Dreamcast skin, or just some sort of cool themed thing like that. I would love to see Sega do more returns to some of these old franchises, even if they're not going to go full force and make whole new games in those franchises, even just a cool little collections on the Switch, something that's not just yet another Genesis collection, because those are on everything. I have a Genesis collection on PS2 and the PSP, and they're on every system ever, and then a Genesis collection doesn't excite me anymore because I have a lot of the original games. I already have collections, and I want to see them do other Sega consoles. They had a lot of other really great consoles. So that'd be my number 6. Number 5, I would like to see some surprisingly positive news regarding the Final Fantasy VII remake, because ever since that release, that was it was something where it was a very just gut reaction and immediate emotional reaction when that trailer came that got me so excited for that. But it was something where as the months went on, I started thinking more and more about who that like what that company is now compared to when Final Fantasy VII first came out. I started more and more to realize it's probably just not going to live up to what I want it to be. And there's been so much negative news, whether it's concrete news or rumors. There's been so much negativity coming out about this game as far as updates and news and rumors, to where I really want to see something positive to reignite my excitement for that game, because it's all about, just about dead at this point. Number 4, I would really like to see some more concrete footage, some gameplay, some really interesting stuff talking about Shin Megami Tensei 5 for the Switch. I really want to see an extended trailer with gameplay of that and really kind of get into the meat of what it's going to be, because I'm getting a lot of Nocturne vibes in particular, if I'm going to relate what we've seen so far to another game in the series. And I really love that game, so I'm really super excited to get that in the future on the Switch. So I want to see some more of that, some more information on it. Number 3, the Switch, of course, is getting tons of Wii U ports, and one that I feel is missing that I think would be beneficial to a lot of people who didn't get a chance to play it, and the franchise as a whole is super popular right now, a port of Xenoblade Chronicles X to the Switch. I would really, really love to see that. I think that would be good for the franchise as a whole, not just for me personally, and I would really love to be able to play that on the Switch. Like that would be amazing. So that would be my number 3. And my number 2, the one that most people would think would be my number 1, and I'm, in a way, it's almost my number 1. It's almost a tie, but I'll talk about number 1 in a minute. Number 2, I really want to see, and I think it's incredibly important. This is the most important one. If we get nothing else, I just want this to happen. The most important thing is a really solid showing of Shenmue at E3. This is super important. With Shenmue 1 and 2 are finally being announced, I really want them to be shown off again, hopefully more in depth at E3, even if it's just like playable on the show floor or something. I'd really like to see it on stage, obviously, but Shenmue 3 needs to be on stage this year, I think, to really keep this momentum going, this hype train going. And along with those lines, I really am hoping we'll see a definitive release date for both the Shenmue 1 and 2 HD and for Shenmue 3 at this year's E3. I hope that it's like a big reveal, the release date for those, and I'm really, again, I'm expecting and hoping that Shenmue 1 and 2 is going to be like an August, September-ish release. I really think it's going to be pretty close here, and then hopefully Shenmue 3 right at the end of the year, like maybe early December release. I'm really hoping that that's the time frame there, and I hope that that's what we see, and I think it's very important now that the Shenmue 1 and 2 reveal finally of the HD remaster coming out is really getting Shenmue into the positive limelight now and reinvigorating that, because I feel like after a while the Shenmue 3 hype kind of faded if you were not already a Shenmue fan, and for it to be successful we need to reach outside people, new fans, people that have not been playing Shenmue for over a decade. So I think now is the perfect time to really get it out there and just build the hype and get Shenmue 3 ready for the spotlight to be a huge success. And weirdly though, my number 1, that's the most important thing to happen, and my number 2 as far as what I want to see. Number 1 is based entirely on a rumor that I never would have thought of it really before as far as something that would be possible, but the rumor leads me to believe there's a slight chance, even though it's slim, the chance is there that we could see a Xenosaga trilogy. I don't care what it's on, if it's a PS4 or the Switch. I prefer it on the Switch, but even if it's just on the PS4, whatever, it would just be really cool to have, because I think now that franchise has a solid home with Nintendo. Anything sort of Xeno related, even though it's Xenoblade Chronicles now, and it's not. It's very separate from, of course, Saga, and then Square owns Gears and things like that. I really think just the Xeno moniker there in the beginning will be enough to make more people check that series out, and I think it's very underappreciated over time. The first game was a greatest hits in many different regions, but they really messed up with the releases, and the sales of 2 and 3 weren't that great. So I think that they kind of need another chance now that people are I think more excited than ever about Xeno games. I think it's a time to really give those a second life, the Xenosaga trilogy. So that'd be really cool. And personally, I would really love to be able to play them on the Switch. That would be incredible. But even if it just gets out there on like the PS4 and people are able to experience those games, get that back into the forefront, that would be great. That would be, so these top two, I guess they're pretty much tied overall. But we need some Shenmue, and I really want this crazy rumor to turn out to be something amazing. So those are the things that I'm looking forward to the most, to hopefully, possibly, maybe seeing at E3. And of course, there are lots of things that we already know are pretty much guaranteed to be there. So what are you looking forward to seeing at E3? Either something that you know is going to be there and you just can't wait to see what they're going to show you, or some sort of rumor, or what are you excited for? What would be your dream thing to see at this year's E3? What would get you hyped?